stuff too. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we met a lot of cool bands, and it was just a lot of fun time. I mean, we played a couple house shows too, which we don't really get to play a lot of here, so in Connecticut. So it was great. I had a great time. The boys had a great time. We're doing it again actually in June. So and we're ready for it, ready to get back.
And what's the tour in June kind of looking like? Are you doing some of the other side of the country?
So maybe like a little bit more south. So we're gonna be kind of going back a little bit, like west, Midwest
Okay.
area. We're gonna be playing New York, Pittsburgh. We're gonna be in Chicago. Trying to think of the route exactly. Somewhere in Ohio. We're trying to hit Nashville, Asheville, St. Louis, um, and then finish in Philly. I might have missed a day or two or a
Okay.
couple, but something like that. Kind of that loop.
And for you, I know Temporary Bliss. Have you seen that the fans are responding to that already? We know it hasn't been out too long, but
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting some messages on Instagram and even some people on TikTok that have, either missed our shows or have come out, to the shows on tour and I've had people saying that, how that they love Temporary Bliss and how they feel about Temporary Bliss which is really cool because it's I think it'll be 2 weeks on Friday, and then on Friday we're putting out a music video. So I think I'll definitely have more
yeah.
discourse from that because I'll have the music video people could comment on it and stuff. But yeah, people have been messaging us, and which is really cool. I mean, the reception on the song has been pretty solid. It's probably like our best release so far, numbers wise, like off the bat on Spotify, which is cool. So, just all continually hitting it and, hopefully, it kind of snowballs, right?
And how did the track come together in the first place?
So the track, I was sitting on my couch like maybe in August or maybe July, sometime in the summer, it was warm. And just kind of like playing this progression, the down, 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 down. And I thought it was kind of cool. It honestly came together really fast from that to the chorus chords. I mean, it's in drop C sharp, so it's really not. I mean, I'm playing all the
Yeah.
bar stuff. I'm not really playing too many crazy chords at all. So I was just kind of like it was kind of the natural progression down to like the sixth fret, fifth fret, third fret kind of walk down thing, and it kind of just wrote itself. I mean, I really just the words came out really fast. I think a lot of the times when I'm writing songs or they come together, it's kind of like how I'm feeling in the moment, and like the words are kind of, just things that kind of spill out of my head at that time. So just kind of how I'm feeling in that time of space and that moment of time, it's just that is what came out and it's just I guess how I was feeling at the time. And it came together really quick, so I knew it was a song we had to record.
And obviously don't want to give away anything for the video still coming out. But do you think like when you're doing a song like that, is there something that you think about ahead of time?
Honestly, not usually. I think this one kind of came together because when we were recording the song, we were talking a lot about ideas and stuff of just what the EP was going to look like, and we were kind of Temporary Bliss was like the first song we recorded, so we were just talking a lot about it. So in my mind, I had a lot of visual stuff and of what we were going to do, but most of the time, it's like I'll listen to a song from a band I like and I'll see a music video and I'll see like something really cool. But when I have my own music, I like struggle to like kind of figure out visually what I want. So this one kind of was a little bit easier because we all really talked about it.
And then with the album coming out in May, what can people expect? Um, what would you say similar to the single or kind of maybe a more directions?
Yeah, so I think definitely a couple of the songs are going to be on the heavier side. There's a couple songs too on it that are going to be more spacey, ambient, kind of pretty, but also kind of on the heavier, textured um, kind of side. But I think Temporary Bliss is a good a starting point because it does kind of all branch off of there, and some of it can get a little prettier and like I said, like a little more ambient, but it all kind of derived from the similar vein of temporary bliss.
For you, what would you say was your biggest influence, like going into this?
Going into this, I was listening to, I mean, I'm always listening to a lot of Alice in Chains and Hum. Those are like my favorite bands. So, I mean, it's kind of like a inspiration that always is in the back of my head. But I was also listening to a band called Glare. They're like the shoegazy, these really pretty like sound spheres and stuff. So it's like listening to a lot of them, and also a band called Drama Ray from Texas too, because they do have that balance between like this really pretty textured stuff and these really heavy kind of riffs and um, stuff. So yeah, I was listening to, I would say probably Blair and Trauma Ray were like two big influences of what I was just listening to, because I feel like a lot of times I am listening to certain stuff and that is like inspiring me in a way. I love getting listening to new stuff, and I mean not that that was new stuff. I've been listening to them a while, but I like listening to different stuff that like gives me ideas. I'm not always just kind of like coming up with ideas on my own, it's like, and not that a lot of this music is straight derivative of this other stuff, but it is kind of like this whole like hodgepodge of music of what I'm listening to, and all these like kind of shapes and sounds and tastes and stuff that all kind of come together to make to make the soft spot song. I mean, it's just kind of what I have in my head, and I'm just trying to like push it out, the
Yeah.
best way I can.
And I'm always interested because, most of the time when you're interviewing bands, you hear the same cities, that they came from, the Nashvilles and stuff. But every time I see something like with you with Connecticut, you, obviously when you think of that, you don't think of like a big rock state or, music scene. But for you, what would you say, like growing up, how was the scene there?
Well, so Stanford's always had like a couple places to play. We still have some original music places. A place called T's Kitchen. It's a pizza restaurant. So we kind of always have these like unorthodox DIY spaces. Um, New Haven is definitely more of where like our scene lies, and kind of just around New Haven, Hamden, and there's more music happening up that way, but we do live like about 50 minutes from New Haven. But Stanford has
Yeah.
always produced bands and has always had music happening. And my uncle plays in a band called Hoseman, and he's been kind of hitting it hard also with DIY and putting shows on and stuff, for the last 30, 40 years. His buddy Anthony Truglia, they're in a band called Liege Lord. They're like a metal band from the 80s, and they still tour Europe and play these big metal festivals and stuff. And, so I wouldn't say that like Stanford is a big music town or music city, because I feel like a lot of the places that we have for music die pretty fast.
Yeah.
We try to, when something dies, try to, kind of latch onto something else to make happen, and whatever. And it usually does. So there is more and more stuff happening. It just, sometimes you lose the wind in your sails because a place closes or whatever, but you keep it going, and honestly, it's just like if you believe in something, you get other people to believe in it. It just kind of is infectious and it keeps going. But yeah, my uncle's definitely has had a big part in keeping the scene alive, and helping us, a soft spot to get off the ground too. I didn't before I kind of started playing music in Stanford in Connecticut. I was in at Roger Williams in Rhode Island, and I was in the radio station, but I was also a part of a musicians group too. And I got to, for the radio station, book shows. So then I got to like message artists and kind of like get into contact with people, and it was my first kind of step into like booking shows and stuff. So then when I got home, my uncle helped me to like, I started the band. My uncle helped me, kind of like get into this place called Club London that they did shows. It doesn't exist anymore. But it all has helped me to booking and booking tours and kind of getting to that point to that we're at right now, which is, I just appreciate all of that knowledge, especially now with
Yeah, I
all
was
the
gonna say because I think a lot of bands, especially when it is DIY, don't know what they need to do or what I
yeah,
think having that view on the other side's got to help for sure.
definitely.
And then just looking ahead for the rest of the year, obviously you talked about doing some more touring,
Mhm.
but what else is coming up?
Yeah, so we're gonna put out the 5 song EP in May. I'm currently also working on some other new stuff, and songs that I really dig. So I'd like to possibly put out some more songs towards the end of the year. Um, we there's other music too that I'd like to kind of like dip into that I've written, that might not be soft spot stuff, you know. But yeah, so definitely there's gonna be more soft spot music at the end of the year. At least 1 or 2 songs. There's a lot of stuff kind of playing around. I could wait and do an album next year because I think, we probably do have enough stuff, especially with kind of just been inspired kind of as of recent. Um, but yeah, maybe even more videos. I mean, we'll probably have another music video out for when we put the album out, or the EP out in May. Um, Probably won't put out a video for, well, actually, I might put out a video for the song that we're putting out in April, which I guess we're in April already. Because I took a
No,
lot of tour footage. So I have like a VHS camera that we just got a lot of tour footage of. So I kind of want to make a tour footage music video for that. So I might put out that, but there's gonna be, yeah, some new songs and stuff, definitely. And more
and
shows.
I was gonna say when you see things about you guys, like your live sets are always a standout for you. What do you think it is that you guys do that really connects with the audience?
Oh boy. I mean, I am a talker, I know some people are like they play through their set and they really,
Yeah,
they feed off the audience, really, it's hard not to. If people aren't in it, you got to try to be in it as best as you can and try to get them to be in it and stuff, and you can kind of win over the crowds, but it is nice when you have a crowd that's already off the bat like into it or whatever. But I talk a lot. I try to connect with the crowd and with whatever, way I can possibly can. And I think that helps a lot. It creates like a personable, human kind of connection rather than just like running through your set and just not saying anything and kind of just killing it, which is cool too. Everybody's got that choice. They can do whatever they want. But yeah, I try to like kind of be personable to the crowd and not just kind of, play the set and be like, all right, later. But I'm also not trying to talk too much in between the set, and songs and stuff, because I know that does also get like a little winded as well. But yeah, I think we try to kind of connect with the audience. I think that's
yeah.
what kind of, like what I like to do at least.
And then just finally, like looking ahead, what would you say is the biggest goal for the whole band right now?
Biggest goal I think are, trying to tour more and play more shows, I mean, can make it more of a feasible job, and playing I mean, we got to play Toad's Place in Connecticut, which was a huge dream. I didn't think I was going to be able to get for a while, be able to play Toads for a while. So we've been doing a lot of cool stuff, just playing better shows, playing, with more touring bands and stuff is kind of just what's on um the goal list. I would love to, be like tour support for a super cool touring band. I think that's kind of the dream, and just to get more people on board with us. I mean, it's cool putting stuff out and then getting people to, like randomly message you or comment on your stuff and say like, I love this for XYZ reason, and it's really cool, and it is kind of helps you to kind of go along and keep doing it. It is it's obviously it's nice to to hear, and so it's yeah, we just I think yeah, I'm trying to I would love to do more, to put out more music, to put out, more albums, get people on board, and um I think, yeah, I think we're on our way. I think definitely playing more and planning more. And sometimes it's tough to get bandmates to want to tour or, 'cause
Yeah,
just doing 10 shows in 10 days is exhausting.
yeah,
But
it's a
I think
lot.
before like the halfway point, like 3 shows in, I was already like, I felt a little exhausted from the first couple of shows, but then like a second wind kicked in for like the rest of the tour because I was kind of like in the routine of it all and just, ready to keep on going. By the 10th show, I was ready to do more. My voice
Right,
was
you got
kind of a little shot by the end, but it was definitely a lot of fun. And I think we all want to do more of that.
awesome. Well, thanks for taking some time,
Yeah, thank you.
and we'll have it out. It should be up by the end of the week, so make sure it's everything's go and
Awesome.
sent over for you.
Sweet. Thank you so
Awesome.
much,
Thank
Tracy. It
you.
was a pleasure meeting you.
You too. Thanks.
All right, you
Bye.
take care.